Everyone thought Marcus Webb was just another invisible worker, a 62-year-old street cleaner, bent over a broom before sunrise, picking up other people's trash while they rushed past without a glance. But when tech billionaire Adrian Cross threw a half-eaten sandwich at his feet and told him to earn his paycheck, Marcus taught him a lesson about value that would haunt Adrian for the rest of his life. This is that story. We measure success in stock portfolios and square footage. We bow to titles and corner offices. We've been trained to look up at penthouses and look down at anyone sweeping the floors beneath them. But here's what we forget. Dignity isn't bought with money. Wisdom isn't taught in boardrooms. And sometimes, just sometimes, the richest lessons come from the people we've learned to ignore. The ones we step over. The ones we never see. The ones whose hands are dirty from cleaning up our mess. This is a story about one of those people. And the billionaire who almost lost his humanity before a street cleaner showed him how to find it again. But before we dive in, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button right now and turn on those notifications. We share stories like this every week. Stories about ordinary people doing extraordinary things. Stories that remind us what really matters. And drop a comment below. Let us know where you're watching from. Are you in New York, Lagos, Mumbai, Tokyo? We love hearing from our global community. All right, let's begin. Marcus Webb wakes up every morning at 3:30 a.m. Not because he wants to, because he has to. By 4 a.m., he's already on the streets of the financial district, wearing an orange safety vest that's 2 sizes too big, and pushing a broom that's older than most of the interns rushing past him 6 hours later. The city is still dark, quiet. The only sounds are his broom against concrete and the distant hum of garbage trucks. This is his kingdom. 6 blocks of sidewalk. His responsibility. His pride. To the thousands of people who will flood these streets in a few hours, the traders, the lawyers, the executives in $1,000 suits. Marcus is invisible. Part of the infrastructure. Like a fire hydrant or a street light. They're functional, easily forgotten. Most people don't even see him. The ones who do, they see an old man in a dirty vest. They see failure. They see someone who didn't plan well enough for retirement. Someone who made bad choices. They see exactly what society taught them to see. Nothing worth noticing. But here's what they don't see. They don't see that Marcus Webb spent 35 years as a public school teacher. History and philosophy. He taught thousands of students. Helped them through breakups and college applications and existential crises. He was the teacher kids came back to visit 10 years later just to say thank you. He loved it. It was his calling. They don't see that he retired early. Not because he wanted to, but because his wife Elena was diagnosed with stage 4 breast cancer and someone needed to take her to appointments, hold her hand during chemotherapy, and pretend everything would be okay when they both knew it wouldn't. They don't see the medical bills that piled up despite having insurance. The second mortgage. The drained retirement account. The desperate choices you make when the person you love is dying and you'd sell your soul to buy her one more year. They don't see Elena's grave, where Marcus goes every Sunday with flowers he can barely afford. They don't see him crying in his car afterward. They don't see that his teacher's pension, once enough for a modest, comfortable retirement, now barely covers rent and groceries. They don't see that he took this job 3 years ago not because he failed at life, but because life failed him. And he refused to give up. They don't see the worn copy of Marcus Aurelius's Meditations he carries in his work bag, the book he reads during lunch breaks on a bench by the park. They don't see that beneath the dirty vest and the aching knees and the invisibility, there's a man of profound dignity, a philosopher in street cleaner's clothing. They just see the vest. The financial district is a different world. Glass towers that pierce the clouds. Luxury cars triple-parked outside artisanal coffee shops. Men and women in suits that cost more than Marcus makes in a month. Everyone moves fast. Eyes on phones. AirPods in. Conversations about markets and mergers and money. So much money. Marcus sweeps around them like water around stones. He picks up their cigarette butts. Their coffee cups, half full, thrown in the trash or left on ledges. Their food wrappers. The sandwich crusts they don't finish. the receipts that fall from their pockets, the evidence of their excess. He doesn't judge. That's not his job. His job is to make their world clean, to erase the mess they leave behind, to ensure that when they arrive tomorrow morning, the sidewalk is spotless and they never have to think about who made it that way. Invisible labor. Sometimes, maybe once a month, someone thanks him. A nod, a smile, a good morning. It's enough to carry him through the weeks of being ignored. But most days, people look through him like he's a ghost. Or worse, they look at him like he's an obstacle, an inconvenience, something in their way. Last week, a woman in designer heels cursed at him because his trash cart was blocking the sidewalk for 15 seconds while he emptied a bin. 2 weeks ago, a young banker nearly knocked him over while texting and didn't even pause to see if he was okay. Yesterday, someone threw a cigarette, but on the ground 3 feet from where Marcus was sweeping and walked away laughing. This is his life now, and he accepts it. Because what choice does he have? He's 62 years old. No company is hiring. His body aches. His knees scream every time he bends down. But he shows up. Every morning. Because Elena taught him something in those final months. Dignity isn't about what you do. It's about how you do it. So Marcus sweeps with dignity. He picks up trash with dignity. He nods politely with dignity. Even when no one's watching. Especially when no one's watching. Monday morning, 8:47 a.m. Adrian is late for a board meeting. Coffee in one hand. Phone in the other. Bluetooth headset blinking. He's talking to his CFO about quarterly projections while dodging pedestrians like they're traffic cones. Marcus is sweeping near the crosswalk. Methodical. Careful. He doesn't see Adrian coming. Adrian doesn't see Marcus at all. Not until his Italian leather shoe catches the edge of Marcus's broom and he stumbles. Just slightly. Spilling coffee on his cuff. He stops. Looks down at the stain. Then looks at Marcus. Not with concern. Not with recognition. With irritation. Marcus starts to apologize. "I'm sorry, sir. I didn't." But Adrian is already walking away, dabbing his cuff with a pocket square, still talking into his headset. Marcus stands there for a moment, then continues sweeping. Tuesday morning, 9:02 a.m. Adrian's car is stuck in crosstown traffic. A fender bender 2 blocks up. Nothing moving. He can see his office building. Right there. 2 blocks. He gets out. Tells his driver to meet him later. Walks fast. Jaw tight. Every second wasted is money lost. He passes Marcus emptying a trash bin near a coffee shop. Marcus nods politely as Adrian rushes past. Adrian doesn't acknowledge it. But his assistant, a young woman named Claire, struggling to keep up, hears Adrian mutter, "Unbelievable, we still pay people to do this manually. It's 2024. This should have been automated a decade ago." Claire doesn't respond. But Marcus hears. He pretends he doesn't. Keeps working. Because what else can he do? Wednesday morning, 8:34 a.m. Adrian is in a foul mood. Velocity's stock dropped 3% overnight. A competitor announced a new product. The board is asking questions. He barely slept. He's on the phone with his PR team, voice sharp, as he walks toward his building. In his other hand, a half-eaten breakfast sandwich from the overpriced cafe on the corner. Turkey, avocado, some kind of aioli he didn't ask for. He takes a bite. Grimaces. Too much mayo. He looks around for a trash can. Doesn't see one immediately. He sees Marcus, sweeping the sidewalk 30 feet away. Orange vest. Gray hair. Invisible. Without breaking his phone conversation, without even pausing, Adrian tosses the sandwich onto the sidewalk. Not into a trash can. Onto the ground. Right near Marcus's feet. And then he says, loud enough to be heard over the street noise, "Earn your paycheck, old man," and walks away. Time stops. Marcus stands frozen. The sandwich sits on the concrete. Wrapper half open. Avocado smeared on the sidewalk. People walk past. Dozens of them. They see it. Some glance at Marcus. Then look away. No one says anything. No one stops. Because this is the unspoken rule of the city. Don't get involved. Not your problem. Keep moving. Marcus's hands tighten around the broom handle. His face burns. Not with anger. With shame. Deep, humiliating shame. He's 62 years old. He taught for 35 years. He raised a daughter. He loved a woman until cancer took her. He's lived a life of dignity and purpose. And now he's standing on a sidewalk, staring at a sandwich thrown at his feet like he's a dog. Like he's nothing. He bends down slowly. His knees crack. He picks up the sandwich, throws it in his trash bag, and continues sweeping. But inside something breaks. That night, Marcus sits alone in his studio apartment. One room, a bed, a small table, a hot plate. The walls are bare except for one photo. Elena on their wedding day, smiling in a way that makes his chest ache even now. He heats up a can of soup, eats in silence, then opens his work bag and pulls out his worn copy of Meditations. The spine is cracked, pages dog-eared, passages underlined in pencil. He opens to a page he's read 1,000 times. Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. He reads it again and again. Elena's voice echoes in his memory. Something she said during one of her last good days, when the pain wasn't too bad and she could still smile. Marcus, you've spent your whole life teaching people how to think. Don't stop now just because you don't have a classroom. He closes the book, sits in silence, and makes a decision. Thursday morning, 3:45 a.m. Marcus arrives at his usual starting point. But today he's carrying something extra. A small folding table, the kind you'd use for a garage sale, a handwritten sign on cardboard, and a stack of blank paper and pens. He sets up at 4 a.m., before his shift officially starts, unfolds the table on the sidewalk, places the sign on top. It reads, "Free wisdom from a street cleaner. Ask me anything. I have time." Then he sits and waits. At 6:30 a.m., the first commuters start appearing. They see the table, the sign, the old man in the orange vest sitting behind it. Most walk past without a second glance. Some laugh, shake their heads. Another crazy person. A few take photos, probably to post on social media with a sarcastic caption. Marcus sits calmly, doesn't call out, doesn't advertise, just waits. At 7:14 a.m., someone stops. A young woman, mid-20s, business suit, hair pulled back tight. She's crying, not sobbing, just silent tears running down her cheeks while she stares at her phone. She looks up, sees the sign, looks at Marcus. "Are you serious?" Her voice cracks. Marcus nods. "Completely. Would you like to sit?" She hesitates, then sits, and the floodgates open. Her name is Jessica. She works in marketing at a finance firm. Her boss screamed at her in front of the entire team yesterday because a client presentation had the wrong font. The wrong font. She's been awake all night wondering if she's good enough, if she should quit, if she's wasting her life in a job that makes her feel worthless. She talks for 10 minutes. Marcus listens, really listens, not with judgment, not with advice waiting on his tongue, just listens. When she finishes, he asks, "Do you know what you're really asking me?" She shakes her head. "You're not asking if you're good enough. You already know you are. You're asking if you're brave enough to leave a place that makes you feel worthless." Silence. And the answer is yes, you are. But you already knew that too. You just needed someone to say it out loud. Jessica stares at him, tears still falling, but different now. "Thank you," she whispers. "You're welcome." She stands, wipes her eyes, looks back at Marcus one more time. "Who are you?" Marcus smiles gently. "Just a street cleaner with time to listen." She walks away, and Marcus goes back to waiting. By 8 a.m., word has spread. Jessica told her coworker in the elevator. The coworker told someone at the coffee cart. Someone took a photo of the sign and posted it to Twitter. By 9 a.m., there's a line. Not a huge one, maybe 6 people. But they're waiting. A college student stressed about exams. A middle-aged man whose wife just asked for a divorce. An intern who feels invisible at his new job. One by one, they sit. And Marcus listens. He doesn't have all the answers. Sometimes he asks more questions than he gives advice. But that's the point. He's not solving their problems. He's witnessing them. And sometimes that's enough. Friday morning, the line is longer. 12 people before 8 a.m. A woman brings Marcus coffee. You've been here 2 hours. You must be freezing. He thanks her. Someone else brings a muffin. The coffee shop owner comes out and shakes Marcus's hand. You're good for business, he jokes. But there's respect in his eyes. By Monday, the crowd is undeniable. 25 people waiting to talk to a 62-year-old street cleaner. Someone films it, posts it to TikTok with the caption, "There's a street cleaner in the financial district offering free life advice, and honestly, it's the most wholesome thing I've ever seen." The video gets 40,000 views in 3 hours. Then 200,000. Then 1 million. By Tuesday, news crews arrive. Channel 7 News here with a remarkable story. This is Marcus Webb, a city street cleaner who's become an unlikely counselor to dozens of New Yorkers struggling with everything from career anxiety to existential crises. Marcus, what made you decide to do this? Marcus looks at the camera. Calm. Humble. I clean streets for a living, but I used to teach history and philosophy for 35 years. And I realized everyone's struggling with something. Everyone needs someone to listen. I have time. I have experience. And I'm already here. So, why not? The clip airs that evening. It's shared across social media. The philosopher street cleaner starts trending. Think pieces are written. Is this a condemnation of the therapy industrial complex? A symbol of community in an isolated age? Proof that wisdom doesn't require credentials? Marcus doesn't read any of it. He just keeps showing up, listening, and cleaning streets. Wednesday evening, 7:34 p.m. Adrian is in his penthouse office. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the city. He's reviewing quarterly reports when his assistant Claire knocks. "Sir, you should see this." She pulls up the news segment on his monitor. Adrian watches. At first, he doesn't recognize Marcus. Just another viral story. Another distraction. But then the camera pans to show the location. His block. The financial district. Right outside his building. And then, the camera zooms in on Marcus's face. Adrian freezes. "Rewind that." Claire does. Adrian leans forward. It's him. The old man. The street cleaner. The one he... Oh no. The sandwich. "Earn your paycheck, old man." His own words echo in his head. The video keeps playing. Marcus is being interviewed. Dozens of people waiting to talk to him. The reporter calling him inspiring. Adrian's stomach turns. He closes the laptop. "That'll be all, Claire." She leaves. Adrian sits alone in his office, staring at the city below, feeling something he hasn't felt in years. Shame. Real, burning, undeniable shame. He tries to rationalize it. It was a joke. He's fine. Look, he's thriving. This is good for him. But he knows that's a lie. He thinks about his own father, a factory worker who got laid off when Adrian was 16. Spent 2 years unemployed. Adrian watched him shrink. Watched his dignity crumble. His father died of a heart attack at 61. Adrian built Velocity Systems partly to honor him. To prove that hard work could lead to something. To make sure no one in his family ever felt that powerless again. But somewhere along the way, he forgot. He became the person laying people off. The person automating jobs. The person throwing sandwiches at street cleaners. When did that happen? When did he stop seeing people as people and start seeing them as line items on a spreadsheet? He doesn't sleep that night. Thursday morning, 7:42 a.m. Adrian stands across the street from Marcus's table. He's been here for 10 minutes. Watching. The crowd is larger today. 30 people, maybe more. Executives. Interns. Baristas. Delivery drivers. All waiting to talk to a street cleaner. Marcus sits patiently, listening to a young man with tattoos and a skateboard. Adrian watches the way Marcus nods. The way he leans in. The way the young man's face softens as he talks. This man isn't a data point. He's not redundant. He's not obsolete. He's extraordinary. And Adrian tried to humiliate him. Someone in the crowd recognizes Adrian. Oh my God. Is that Adrian Cross? Mr. Cross. Heads turn. People pull out phones. Marcus looks up. Their eyes meet. For a long moment, neither moves. Then someone shouts, "Mr. Cross, you should ask him something. He's amazing." Adrian's throat tightens. He could leave. He should leave. But something, pride, curiosity, guilt, keeps him rooted. The crowd parts. Phones filming. Adrian walks forward. Stops in front of Marcus's table. Silence. Marcus speaks first. His voice is calm. No anger. No triumph. "Would you like to sit, Mr. Cross?" Adrian sits. The crowd watches. Whispers. Marcus waits. Adrian clears his throat. "You know who I am." "I do. I saw the news coverage. This is impressive. Good for you." Marcus smiles gently. "Thank you." Silence. Adrian shifts in his chair. "I assume you remember me." "I do." Adrian exhales slowly. "I'm sorry. For what I said. For the sandwich. It was disrespectful. Inexcusable." Marcus nods. "Thank you for saying that." More silence. Adrian should leave now. The apology is done. But he doesn't move. Because there's something he needs to know. "How do you do it?" His voice cracks slightly. "Do what?" "Stay. Like this. After everything." Adrian gestures vaguely. "You lost your career. Your wife. Your savings. You're cleaning streets at 62. And you're sitting here offering wisdom to strangers like it doesn't bother you. Like you're not angry." Marcus looks at him for a long moment. When he speaks, his voice is quiet but firm. "It bothers me. Every day." Adrian blinks. "I miss my wife. I miss teaching. I miss being seen as someone valuable instead of someone invisible. I miss waking up without my knees hurting. I miss not worrying about rent. I miss having a future that looks like more than just surviving. So yes, Mr. Cross, it bothers me." Pause. "But I realized something after Elena died. Suffering doesn't make you special. Everyone suffers. The woman who served you coffee this morning, she's suffering. The intern you passed in the lobby, he's suffering. The CEO in the building next door, he's suffering too. The question isn't whether you suffer. It's what you do with it." Adrian stares at him. "I could be bitter. I could be angry at the world. I could spend every day resenting the people who have what I lost. Or," Marcus leans forward, "or I could use what I've learned. All that pain, all that loss, to help people who are suffering now. I chose the second option, because bitterness doesn't clean the pain. It just spreads it." 2 weeks later, Velocity Systems holds a press conference. Adrian stands at a podium. No script, just notes. He announces, "Immediate pause on all automation projects targeting low-wage workers. A $100 million fund to retrain displaced workers in emerging industries. Partnerships with community colleges for free education programs. Wage increases for all contract workers. Janitors, drivers, cafeteria staff." The board is furious. Investors panic. The stock drops 8% in one day. Adrian doesn't care. He also does something quietly. Something he tells no one about. He funds a scholarship program in Elena Webb's name. For students pursuing teaching degrees. Full tuition, books, stipend for student teaching. And he visits Marcus. Not for cameras. Not for PR. Just to talk. 6 months later, Marcus still cleans streets. But now he also teaches 2 nights a week at a community center. Philosophy and history. Free to anyone who wants to learn. The room is packed every session. Adrian attends one. Sits in the back. Takes notes like a student. After class, they have coffee. "Do you ever regret it?" Adrian asks. "Cleaning streets instead of teaching full-time?" Marcus smiles. "I am teaching, just not in a classroom. Every person I talk to on that sidewalk, that's teaching. Every piece of trash I pick up with dignity, that's teaching through action. You don't need a title to teach, Mr. Cross. You just need to care." Adrian nods. For the first time in years, he feels something he'd forgotten. Peace. Value isn't measured by salary. Wisdom isn't reserved for the educated. And the people we ignore, the ones we step over, dismiss, forget, they might be the ones holding the answers we're desperately searching for. Never mistake visibility for importance. Never mistake wealth for worth. Because the richest lesson you'll ever learn might come from someone the world taught you to overlook. The person cleaning your office. The person serving your coffee. The person sweeping the sidewalk while you rush past without looking. They see you. The question is, will you see them? If the story touched your heart, do me a favor, hit that like button and smash that subscribe button. We share powerful stories like this every single week. Stories about dignity, redemption, and the unexpected people who change our lives. Drop a comment below. Where are you watching from? And have you ever learned an important lesson from someone unexpected? Someone the world taught you to overlook? We'd love to hear your story. Until next time, remember this: everyone you meet has something to teach you. You just have to be willing to listen. See you in the next one.